Hello and welcome to another edition of the Morning Update live on NTN. We'd like to thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you had a restful, enjoyable weekend. It's Yuletide, it's the festive season. We do hope everyone is going in and out, coming in and out, and doing it safely. My name is Jessie Leonce and I'm here to bring you the latest developments coming from the government of St. Lucia. As usual on the weekdays, we have 5 more COVID-19 patients recovering on Sunday, 20th December. We'll tell you how that has reduced the number of active cases on island. It has done so significantly. We've seen so far patients being treated, going into the respiratory hospital and coming out safe and sound, and more than individuals succumbing and what have you and dealing with long-term or prolonged instances of COVID-19. So we'll tell you about the number of active cases and also the number of cases that were registered over the weekend as well. We also have a health report. The lifelong friendship between the governments of St. Lucia and the French Republic results in much needed beds and mattresses to be utilized by the island's respiratory facility. Also, we have a statement coming from the Ministry of Agriculture, and they're speaking on operations for slaughterhouses. We'll get into the details of that in just a moment. And we have an update. Well, a press conference was held last week. The police officers and firefighters have been equipped with more resources to stay fit while on the job. In a brief ceremony held recently, we had at the police headquarters Chesterfield, the Make It Happen Foundation handed over exercise equipment to the force and the fire service. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a moment. A press release from the Ministry of Education. Students are to return to the classrooms come January 11th, 2021. A press release from the Ministry of Equity. The Public Assistance Program payouts are happening starting today for specific regions. I'll let you know the specific regions where you can collect and on the days from today until when. And the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat of the Department of Health and Wellness and the Turning Point Drug and Alcohol Detoxification Rehabilitation Center have issued statements for the festive season. Naturally, it's a time that, many persons consume alcohol, they indulge, for lack of a better word, and at this time it is important that we do so moderately and not to the detriment of our health and well-being. So the details to these stories and these updates and bulletin information coming from the various departments of the government of St. Lucia are coming up on the other end of this break. Stay with us.
Do you know me? I've been forced to do this by my trafficker. I was promised a better life, but got forced into domestic servitude. I can be any age. I can be any gender. Any ethnicity. I am a victim of trafficking in persons. Know the signs, see it, report it. If you see me, please help me. Call the TIP hotline at 847.
Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the Morning Update live on NTN. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. For those of you watching on air online, our NTN channel, also our YouTube platform, our Facebook platform as well. Good morning to you, residents here in St. Lucia and St. Lucians in the diaspora. Many of you are coming back home, holiday travelers back to St. Lucia. We do hope that you are adhering to the protocols and the home-based quarantine. It is very, very important that you take the time you need to remain at your family home, what have you, to ensure that you are cleared of all the protocols involved. We've had 5 more cases of COVID-19 patients recovering this weekend. On Sunday, the 20th of December, these individuals did recover, and also 2 recoveries happening on Saturday as well. And this brought the number of active cases to 22. Yes, so 2 recoveries on Saturday, 2 recoveries on Sunday, bringing the total number of active cases to 22. Now, on Saturday, there were 2 cases of COVID-19 registered. The case number 281 is a 59-year-old female from Soufrière, and the second case is a non-national, case number 282, a 31-year-old female. Those were the 2 cases registered on Saturday. Now, on Sunday, there were 5 cases registered. 283, case number 283 is a 31-year-old male from the Castries district. 287, a 19-year-old female from Castries as well. And there are 2 cases from Groseilliers, 284 and case number 285. That's a 31-year-old male and a 42-year-old female respectively. And case number 286 is a 28-year-old female from the Castries district. These individuals were seen at a respiratory clinic. They were assessed and tested for COVID-19 while awaiting the receipt of their results. Now, just to mention, the first 2 cases confirmed on Sunday, they are returning nationals. On arrival to St. Lucia, the individuals were placed in quarantine at a government quarantine facility. As per protocol, they were assessed and tested for COVID-19, and upon receipt of these results, the individuals have since been placed in isolation. And so there again, we're seeing the interception, the efforts at intercepting COVID-19 at the borders to ensure that our population continues to be protected from COVID-19. The updates there, 2 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 recoveries on Saturday, 5 new cases of COVID-19 and 5 recoveries as well on Sunday. So that's the update from the Department of Health and Wellness. We hope you are adhering to the protocols, the infection prevention guidelines. The world continues to grapple with COVID-19. If you're not aware, a new variant of COVID-19, the virus which causes a new variant of SARS-CoV-2, the virus which causes COVID-19, is thought to be driving increased transmission of the disease in certain parts of the UK. And so we hope that you in our neck of the woods are playing your part in ensuring that we keep COVID-19 at bay. We know the authorities are working feverishly to ensure that we keep COVID-19 at bay and keep it out of our population and our space. So the world continues to grapple with COVID-19. We do, our prayers go out to the individuals who continue to suffer with this virus and the effects of the virus, and those also who are mourning the loss of loved ones this year. At this time of year, we know it's a time when persons would have come together to celebrate with friends and family. Continuing with news this morning, we have an update from the Department of Health. Again, the lifelong friendship between the governments of St. Lucia and the French Republic results in much needed beds and mattresses to be utilized by the island's respiratory facility patients. We have more in this report from the ministry's Fresnel Neptune.
St. Lucia recently received a donation of 40 hospital beds and 40 mattresses from the French government to aid in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Department of Health and Wellness, Jenny Daniel, believes the generosity displayed by the government of France is a testament to the strong relationship between the 2 countries.
In this instance, the French government, through the University Hospital Chum and La Ménade Hospital, has generously donated 40 beds and 40 mattresses, which are to be utilized to equip our health institutions and therefore further fortify the health sector to improve capacity to respond to this and any future health threats.
Minister for Health and Wellness, Senator the Honorable Mary Isaac, recognized Martinique's continued efforts at strengthening St. Lucia's own health sector.
Prior to this crisis and throughout, we have always received generous assistance from our neighboring island, or should I say sister island of Martinique, through the French government. We get training for our healthcare workers constantly and consistently from Martinique.
According to the Chargé d'Affaires of the French Embassy, Marc Matilio, the arrival of the hospital beds was as a result of a collaboration of several agencies, including the French Armed Forces, staff of the French Embassy, and the University Hospital of Luminaire.
Frankly speaking, France wanted to express its clear and strong solidarity with St. Lucians through these various gestures. at a time when the country was experiencing an upsurge in the number of COVID-19 cases. This solidarity exists between two countries that are so close, with strong ties and not only geographical.
The kinship between St. Lucia and France dates back to the French Revolution, as St. Lucia was the first country to recognize the revolution even before Haiti. As a result, the French Republic referred to St. Lucia as Saint-Lucie les Fidèles, or St. Lucia the Faithful. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fernal Neptune.
Thank you, Fernell, for that report. We now move on to an update from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Students to return to the classroom on January 11th. And just to read from it verbatim, the Department of Education, Innovation and Gender Relations wishes to inform all stakeholders of the intent to resume school operations in the physical setting on the official reopening date of January 4th, 2021. However, the plan is for teachers and other school staff to commence January 4th and students to return January 11th, 2021. Cognizant that the health and safety of students and staff is paramount, the department has been and continues to consult with stakeholders to ensure the mode of operation provides for the safest possible environment for all. The department will further update the public on finalized plans for January 2021 in a subsequent communique. So that is the update there from the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development on students returning to the classrooms on January 11th, 2021. So parents, please brace yourself. Guardians, brace yourself. There is the effort on the part of the Ministry of Education to reopen the schools and have the in-classroom instruction resuming for the new year. We are due for a break. When we come back, we'll be taking you on a journey with respect to the festive season. We have the slaughterhouses. The Ministry of Agriculture has issued a statement, a position on how slaughterhouses are supposed to be operating. So that and more for the Yuletide coming up after this break. Stay with us.
Yeah, my G. Yeah. The road clear, my G. Do road.
I don't feel now is the right side.
Are you mean by the road clear, my G? Do road 120. Yeah, man, that's how we do it, like real boss. Boy. Yes, that. Watch it.
Don't fall victim to peer pressure when driving. Your life and the lives of others are your responsibility. Drive safe. Arrive alive.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We now have a report from the Ministry of Agriculture speaking to operations for slaughterhouses during the festive season. You will remember that for the reduced restrictions in respect to COVID-19, that slaughterhouses were mentioned and that they are allowed to operate normally for the festive season. And with respect to how they're supposed to operate, we have this update from the Ministry of Agriculture. Take a look.
The Ministries of Agriculture and Health have increased the monitoring and surveillance of butchery practices to ensure conformity to public health guidelines and procedures. Upon request, owners or managers of the slaughterhouse must present to the inspector the original copy of the post-ante-mortem certificate that renders the animal fit to slaughter. All butchers must obtain a license or permit to slaughter from the police. Acting Animal Husbandry Officer of the Department of Veterinary and Livestock Services, Columbus Philippe, informs any animal being transported from south to north must obtain a transfer permit from the Southern Livestock Station.
So someone desirous of moving an animal from north, especially from south to north, you should visit the department, the Veterinary Services Department in Vifort. An officer will issue you with a certificate to move that animal, a permit to move that animal. This is in light of ambioma. And this animal will be treated before it is moved. And then when you move that animal, then the animal will be trapped, because it may need a second or more treatment at its new location.
Senior Environmental Health Officer Ernie Pierre encourages butchers and the wider public to adhere to the public health guidelines and procedures put in place by the Ministry of Health.
We have seen traditionally when meat is being sold that it almost appears to be like a mass crowd event. There is gathering of members of the public and everybody in all directions calling for what piece of meat they would like. They will have to have a queue. We will have to be observing the 6 feet distancing and the markers, so on. Persons will have to have their mask, butchers will have to be masked, they would have to be properly attired, they would have to make enough provisions in and around the slaughterhouses for hand washing and sanitization of the hands of themselves, the helpers, and members of the public that are purchasing. So that is very, very, very important to ensure that whilst we facilitate the butchers in slaughtering and so on, and we do what we are supposed to do, we are not worsening things by creating a situation where persons can be exposed more to infections of COVID-19.
To ensure operations are not hindered, persons are encouraged to visit or call the environmental health officers in Bois or Vieux Fort. From the Communications Unit of the Department of Agriculture, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
Thank you, Anicia Antoine, for that report. Moving on for our morning update live on NTN, we have an urgent public announcement from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment, and this is regarding the Public Assistance Program. The ministry wishes to notify all clients of this program, the PAP, of Castries, Babono, the Grosile and Susi Millet regions, that payment for December will commence from Monday, that is today, the 21st, to Wednesday, the 23rd, at the Castries City Hall from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. We repeat, this is an important update. We want to let everyone know how they can come into the monies that they are due, especially for the festive season. The Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Local Government and Empowerment wishes to notify all clients of the Public Assistance Program, PAP, of Castries, Babono, Grosile and the Susi Millet regions that payment for the month of December 2020 will commence from Monday 21st December to Wednesday 23rd December 2020 at the Castries City Hall from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. If you want some more information, you can contact the ministry via telephone number 468-5108, and that's based in Castries. We also have an update from the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority. It states that the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority, SLASPA, encourages customers to utilize the services of the appointment system for clearing of personal effects, that is barrels, at Port Vieux Fort and Port Castries during this Christmas season. Customers should note that the operating hours for the cargo sheds have been extended to 6:30 p.m. To make an appointment, customers are to contact SLASPA between the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is Monday to Friday at 285-1091 or 285-1175. Direct calls and WhatsApp messages only. That is what they're requesting. So there you have it, some extended hours at the ports, Port Vieux Fort and Port Castries, for individuals looking to clear their barrels at the ports. It's been extended to 6:30 p.m. So please take note of this important update. We are due for another break. When we come back, we hear from the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat of the Department of Health and Wellness, as well as the Turning Point Drug and Alcohol Detoxification and Rehabilitation Center, speaking for the festive season. We know persons indulge, hopefully not too much and not at the detriment of your health and wellness. Stay with us.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow, for a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies, when her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul, and her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. for her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is Saint Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now for our final segment of the morning update, the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat of the Department of Health and Wellness has issued a statement for the festive season to ensure that persons do not overindulge at the detriment of their own well-being. Take a look.
The Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat of the Department of Health and Wellness extends season's greetings to everyone. As we celebrate this festive season, the Secretariat encourages caution in activities involving substance use. Avoiding the harmful use of alcohol, as well as the use and exposure to tobacco smoke, are important safeguards as these substances cause serious health risks and increase the risk for contracting COVID-19 and its complications. We wish to remind the public of the dangers of binge drinking. Drinking more than 5 drinks for men and more than 4 drinks for women in one setting is considered binge drinking. The practice of healthy alcohol consumption affects judgment, self-control, and decision-making and is associated with injury or harm to oneself and others. Remember, the body can only absorb 1 standard alcoholic drink in 1 hour, so drink less and slowly to avoid intoxication. As we continue in the fight against COVID-19, we need to protect our immune system, especially our respiratory system and lungs. Tobacco smoke from cigarettes and emissions from other tobacco products increase the risk for developing cancers, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and other chronic conditions such as respiratory conditions, COPD, bronchitis, and asthma. For this reason, it is very important to adhere to the new smoke laws that prohibit smoking in workplaces, enclosed and public spaces such as bars, restaurants, beaches, and parks. As this season has brought about new challenges, we are encouraged to avoid indulging in substance use and misuse as coping mechanisms for stress relief. It is okay to feel stressed, but we must deal with our emotions in healthy ways. Healthy coping practices include relaxation techniques, prayer and meditation, talking to someone you trust, and keeping a positive mindset. Please seek professional help if you are struggling with stress management. Let's pay special attention to our children. They feel stressed too. Therefore, family support is very important in stress management for children. Remember, it is not safe under any circumstances to introduce minors to alcohol, tobacco, or any other drugs. Let us celebrate this season safely, soberly, peacefully, and include the COVID-19 protocols in our plans for family gathering. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to all.
That a public health alert there coming from Heidi Kodra, Program Officer at the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat of the Department of Health and Wellness. And to cap things off, we have a statement from Mr. Huggins from the Turning Point Drug and Alcohol Detoxification and Rehabilitation Center. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Robert Huggins, Director of Turning Point. We are an 18-bed residential treatment facility now located in the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, Kubaril. We provide a program aimed at helping people maintain their sobriety. During the holiday season, particularly Christmas, it is common for there to be a spike in problematic substance use. So call us at 453-1087 or email us at turning.point@govt.lc if you or a loved one needs support during the holidays. We can talk about our short-term residential program or guide you to one of the existing Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous groups in your community for support. Thank you.
That update there from Mr. Robert Huggins from the Turning Point Drug and Alcohol Detoxification and Rehabilitation Center. If you or a loved one needs support during the holidays in terms of maintaining sobriety, you can call the number 453-1087 or you can email turning.point@govt.com. And they are indicating that they can talk about their short-term residential program or guide you to the existing Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous groups in your community for support. So there are pillars available for individuals to maintain their sobriety, to get through the festive season without reverting to a previous state of alcoholism or drug dependence at this time. Well, that wraps up our update coming from NTN today. The updates coming from the government of St. Lucia. We'd like to thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate you staying tuned to what's happening on NTN as we bring you these latest updates. Very important, especially as it relates to COVID-19. Adhering to the protocols, we have had a subtle reduction in the restrictions for the festive season going up to mid-January thereabout. And of course, there will be a review by the command center in consultation with the NEMAC team. But until such time, we've had a subtle reduction, and we do hope that we can, while enjoying ourselves in this Yuletide space, that we can also maintain the gains that have been made. You will remember that in October, early November, there were a spike in cases, and at that time, you know, there was definitely concern for our status as it pertains to COVID-19. And we've so far seen a reduction, and it has guided the ability for us to now have a reduction in the restrictions, offering extended hours to commercial businesses and so on, as well as being able to dine in at restaurants and being able to have a good time by the bars. Don't overdo it. Don't have the authorities, you know, thinking, oh man, we shouldn't have done this. Let us play our part. Let us behave. Let us all, myself included, ensure that we adhere to the protocol and adhere to the infection prevention guidelines that have been put in place. The washing of the hands, the use of hand sanitizer when there's not a faucet nearby, using the mask when you're going out in public, also observing the 6-foot physical distance. All these things are important. I believe we spoke to the head of the St. Lucia Red Cross just last week, and he indicated that the flu season wasn't as hard and heavy as we've seen in previous years, largely because there has been an increase in hygiene practices. And while we were trying to keep COVID-19 at bay, we inadvertently, unfortunately so, kept the flu at bay for much of the population. So let us continue to do what we have been doing in the last few months to reduce the risk of transmission of COVID-19, and it will augur well for us in the long run. We don't know what is coming ahead. 2021, I mean, many of us did not, well, we certainly could not have predicted what COVID-19 was in 2020 or 2020 overall, but it just goes to show that we don't know what 2021 will bring. And while we are optimistic, we need to be vigilant. We need to play our part. We need to do all that we can to ensure that we don't see repeats of the waves of COVID-19. We hear the predictions, we hear what science is telling us, but let us play our part. Let us play our part. Let us adhere to the protocols, adhere to the infection prevention guidelines, and of course it will be all well and good for St. Lucia. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, with another NTN Morning Update, bringing you the latest from the government of St. Lucia for the 24-hour cycle My name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Before you leave, before I leave as well, I just want to let you know that the CDF, the National Arts Festival, the Virtual Theatre Arts Series, they had their the Gopwell Rehabilitation Center play, and that aired, the premiere of that aired this weekend. If you didn't have a chance to watch it on Sunday night, then you can do so directly after this program. Take a look at that play for some comedic, entertainment. So take a look at that, and it's coming from the theater group DramaCon, and they featured prominently for the virtual theater arts series that the CDF put on as part of the National Arts Festival. Show your support and tune into that play. So that's all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for watching. Do enjoy the rest of it. Cheers.